Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our African Arabian Excellence Model Introduction event. I am Shari Nagy, the Program Manager in Creative Technology, and I will be coordinating the event today. We will have today in our event Mr. Ed Van Heber, the CEO of the African Excellence Forum, and it is worth mentioning that he has been 35 years in the excellence field, and Mr. Samuel Bishay, the regional representative for African Excellence Forum in the Middle East North Africa region. And I'm so lucky to represent them today. So, Mr. Ed, the floor is yours now.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for the opportunity. Welcome from Johannesburg in South Africa. Simply a pleasure to share the agenda with you tonight. Back in '95, I had the opportunity to go to Wilton, Connecticut in the USA. And during that period, when TQM was the buzzword internationally, I had the opportunity to share some time with Dr. Duran himself, a marvelous man, exceptional man by any standards. I have seen many people with commitment, but he takes the trophy when it comes to conviction, when he talks about excellence. Equally, like Samuel, I had the privilege to work with Dr. James Harrington in Johannesburg a couple of years ago on cost of quality, which is a passion of his. And at that stage, we shared much experiences around it, especially when he wrote his last book on cost of quality. Very, very memorable days, and to have been in touch with gurus of that caliber. Thank you. Change the slide. Taking us back a few years, the excellence process in Africa has come quite a few years. As you can see here, we started off in '97 with the South African Excellence Model. It had a successful period. We had winners at that stage, and some of the winners at that stage included Daimler Chrysler Africa and Honeywell. During that same period, we introduced a concept of cost of quality management, whereby the return of investment was expressed in monetary terms. And during that period, we were able to link organizational maturity to cost of quality. That was a very interesting period as well. The growth path continued when operational excellence became a need of the African continent. During that period, we developed two specific tools called SPEAR 1 and SPEAR 2, and they give organizations an operational excellence perspective in running an excellence model, but in a real day-to-day concept. From that level, the African model was developed. Prior to 2018, like in 1997, the model was based on the best practice out of Baldrige and EFQM. In 2018, we decided to give that model its developmental perspective, and we called it the African Excellence Model. It was duly registered globally, and it was also presented to the Global Excellence Council at that stage. From the Excellence Model, we again moved one step closer to the real spirit of Ubuntu in Africa. Ubuntu, a very powerful concept, and what it simply says, today, I am here in South Africa because you as my audience are on the other side, and it is through you that I am able to deliver my message today. That is the spirit of Ubuntu. We did that in 2018 and equally amended the 2080 version of the African Excellence Model to the Ubuntu Excellence Model in 2020. Next slide. Next slide. To give you a little bit more information about where we've come from with the African Arabian Excellence Model, let me take you back to 1997. As I said, we started off with the model in South Africa in 1997. At that stage, best practice, at that stage in South Africa, particularly as part of the SADC region for Southern Africa, we had more than 150 members, and we trained in excess of 1,500 assessors. So we have a large assessor pool in the southern part of Africa, which we in future hope to pull back into the future African Excellence Initiative. As I mentioned, the 99 cost of quality was used to convert the return on investment, which is very close to our heart in the African Excellence Framework, is to say, how can you share monetarily whether the route of excellence works or whether it doesn't work for you? And that experience, we look forward through our team in Egypt, the creative technology team, to share some of that technology with you as we go forward. The two products that I mentioned earlier are SPEAR 1 and SPEAR 2 that came around in 2006. SPEAR 1 was developed as an operational excellence for the C-suite, for the board, for the executives. Now, SPEAR stands for specific words. Like we would have radar, and many of you would know radar, but we have SPEAR in our context, and it stands for Sustaining Performance Excellence through Assessment and Review. SPEAR. And that SPEAR is available as part of the Operational Excellence Model underpinning the African Arabian Excellence Program, where SPEAR 1 is for executives and SPEAR 2 is for operations. So we look forward to taking the African Excellence Model plus its North African version of it, the African Arabian Model, and presenting it in organizations as a day-to-day operational excellence initiative, which will give organizations a real-time excellence program rather than one that is just linked to awards or aspects of that nature. Those two specific projects, SPEAR 1 and SPEAR 2, have had successful runs in South Africa, and we've had in excess of 30,000 people, man-hours of training that have gone into those prospects as part of the program. The 2013 model, in more detail, consisted of 11 criteria compared to the 9 criteria of the EFQM and 7 of the Baldrige, and that later on in 2018 was changed to 7 criteria. So we will show you in a few minutes the African Excellence Model, its 7 criteria, 6 enablers, and 1 result. A very interesting disruptive aspect of that is that the results section, the results criterion, has been completely aligned with the balanced scorecard. So the quartiles of the balanced scorecard now automatically is the output, becomes the outcomes of the new model, which we will be sharing with you today. And that then takes us back to 2020, as I said, with the new African model. So we have had much experience. We have taken every liberty that we could to ensure that this model is an equal to some of the other models that currently is available to the global community. Next slide. This is our board, the African Excellence Forum board. We are very privileged to have Dr. Christian Forstner on the left from Germany. Much experience, a physicist in his own right, and having had a lot of experience not only in Europe, but also in China, as far as business excellence is concerned. Dr. Samuel Materekera, University of Northwest down in Southern Africa, is a member of the Malawian community. Equally bringing to us the culture, the Ubuntu culture of the African context in terms of how and president of the Quality and Innovation program in South Africa, equally very knowledgeable around the excellence model and how it contributes in terms of innovation. It is a pleasure to mention Leon Toussaint, the previous CEO of the EFQM, who is also a member of our board, founding member, and he has been very instrumental in helping us launch the African initiative. Equally, to ensure the integrity of our model versus the other global models. Our chairman, Matomi Edmund Modipa, chairman of the board. I'm sure one day Samuel will facilitate a session whereby we could ask him to share with you the Ubuntu culture in Africa, and it is a powerful discussion around how humanity is built into models as part of the developmental phase of business excellence in Africa. Now, I myself have been involved with excellence models for quite a while. I have the background as an industrial engineer. I have been involved with the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research in South Africa. For my sins, I've been able to assist in the design of 2 excellence models out of the Southern African context, and it has been simply a pleasure to collaborate with Baldrige, EFQM, and of course our fellow compatriots of FNQ in Brazil. So we want to reassure the listeners today that the African Excellence Model in its own right stands equal to Baldrige, EFQM, FNQ, Australia, the Deming Award, and it pleases us to share this with you. I was blessed in my earlier years with Philip Crosby to be the winner of the 1994 Philip Crosby African Global Award. So that was very interesting as well. And all these aspects has been very instrumental in making sure that the tool, the excellence model, the African Arabian excellence model, is certainly a workable entity. Now, earlier on, I mentioned the Ubuntu Excellence Framework, and on this slide on the right-hand side is the model itself. It is an integral part of the balanced scorecard based on the Harvard methodologies and its own value system. The Ubuntu values consisting of 3 critical elements. We focus on humanity, as well as performance, execution, as well as sustainability. Now, all those 3 values is an integral part of how the excellence model is integrated and how we've been able to align it with the global criteria. So the global, the sustainable, UN Sustainable Developmental Goals, as you can see at the bottom left, forms the direct basis for the results sections of this peer program, which is based on the African Excellence Model. On the right-hand side, you will see the various colors of the criteria from red all the way through to purple. And on the very outside, you will see the UN Sustainable Goals being linked to each one of those criteria. So the criteria of the African Excellence Model is now equally aligned by criterion with the specific goals of the UN SDGs. It is our thinking, it is our belief that by integrating the program, the process, the model in day-to-day operational activities to such an extent that the UN SDGs becomes a natural consequence of how the environment, the people, and the economies of organizations are managed. Next slide. The model itself, in a little bit more detail, as you can see, we have the previous slide. Thank you. You can see the various criteria in the model are represented by the colors of the rainbow, which is also an African concept. The SDGs are on the outside. Just on the inside of the SDGs are the 4 primary drivers or pillars of the African Excellence Model, and for that matter, the African Arabian Excellence Model, which is planning, deployment, validation or assessment, refinement, and results. So PDCA, equally a completely integrated concept of the model. Of course, the criteria that we see there has been amended also to give us a different perspective of criterion 1, which is direction, or the old terminology as we know it is strategy and planning. Governance is leadership. And so we continue with the criteria titles, and we've realigned them into the concept of modern business acumen. So the next slide. If we look at the list here of the global excellence models, which is the Australian, Baldrige, Dubai, EFQM, Singapore, Japanese, F&Q, then we have the African Arabian model in the middle with the Global Excellence Council on the left. And it is a pleasure for us to share with you that we are truly sharing with you now a global excellence model in its own right within the context of Africa and the Middle East. Next slide. Until a few years ago, we could see the other global players in the excellence movement. At the top left, we see the United States, Europe in the middle top, Japan top right, Australia bottom right, and Brazil bottom left, and Africa was not part of the Global Excellence Council agenda at that stage. Whereas today, the African Excellence Forum is a fully judged member of the Global Excellence Model Council, and it pleases us to now represent Africa and more so the Middle East as well, to complete the global player model of the big models currently available. And as such, the initiatives coming out of the UAE and the Middle East are extremely exciting, very productive, of course, in their own right, destructive when it comes to modern technologies and so forth. And we hope that we could really go on board and take on board the benchmarks, the learning, and the best practices of the Middle East and incorporate them into the African and Middle East model. Next slide. So now the question is it time to change? What are some of the changes that we are going to bring about? And you will see as we present the next bunch of slides by Samuel also, we'd just like to share with everybody that the African Excellence Forum really endorses business excellence in Africa and the Middle East in a very professional and scientific manner. However, we hope that we could take operational excellence to the next level and incorporate that as part of the 21st century approach to business excellence. As such, we are very inspired by the concept of having a quality habit rather than just having acts of quality. So we hope, as cited by Aristotle, where excellence should become a habit rather than just an act, that with the operational excellence focus that we are going to bring into the concept of Africa and the Middle East, that we will truly be bringing ourselves in line with the great message of Aristotle around habit and acts. The next slide. The question arises with us down here in Africa, particularly Southern Africa at this stage, what is the resource that we are going to use to share, to take the model to every corner of North Africa and the Middle East? We are extremely thrilled today to share with you our belief in Samuel in terms of their technology, their experience, their knowledge in Africa and the Middle East. And it's a pleasure for us to have that team as our representative in North Africa and the Middle East, and of course, a partner in more ways than one. To Samuel and his team for the recent launch in Dubai, thank you very much. It has been a real pleasure to see your professional approach to conducting matters of this event. We continue to further say it has also been our pleasure to take the 8 language areas of Africa to North Africa, in particular with the Arab-speaking version of the African Arabian Excellence Model, a major breakthrough. So we're going to have the English version in Southern Africa, we're going to have the Arabic version in North Africa, and equally, we hope and look forward to the Swahili version in East Africa and French and so forth in West Africa, so that the model is truly of the people, by the people, for the people, in their own languages. And in this case, equally, accolades to the creative technology team for the Arabic version of the model. The board of directors, of course, is extremely thrilled to have launched the initiative under the auspices of Samuel and his team, and we look forward in due course to invite members of the region, North Africa and the Middle East, to become champions or members in the larger running and the management of the African Excellence Forum. So we are very excited to be here today and immensely proud to share with you the model as you will see it fold out under the hand of Samuel. Thank you for your opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ed, for your valuable information. And now we will see a couple of questions. Please, I would like you to answer some of them, the questionnaire, and then we will continue our event. Okay, now I will share the results. Thank you so much. Mr. Samuel, the floor is yours now.
Good evening, everybody. I'm happy to be with you tonight. As you see, we have most of the people coming from UAE, from Saudi Arabia, from Egypt, from Jordan, and we have also lead auditors, excellence assessors, and organizations. People are looking for knowledge, for career shift, for applying the model, for recognition, and for joining the award. I think this is good to share with you, as excellence is very important to share results with people. I will start with what we have done in Dubai. We have launched the model, the Arabic model in Dubai on the 15th of September. And this is the launch ceremony by the African Arabian Excellence Model. We will show you a little film about the launching ceremony, and then we can continue the technical part. Thank you for joining us. We will first tell you what is our market share and our concentration in the market. We have realized that less than 1% is looking for excellence and is looking to be certified and recognized. And we found that not more than 99% really they need better performance. So we started to be concentrating on the 99% needing better performance, because we believe that we need to help those people to achieve better performance. We have gathered the stakeholders' requirements and needs, and we found that it is value for investment. People and customers and organizations want value for their investment, means return on investment. They need different languages customized by country, and they need tailored according to segments, like, for example, for schools, for hospitals. So they need customization and tailoring. Also for assessors, they need an upgrade. If they are already qualified assessors or even lead auditors in ISO, we have created something that help them to upgrade to be AEF assessor. Product variety and levels, we need levels because we will discuss all this in later slides. Affordable cost, win-win partnerships, and here we are looking for excellence centers in all the Arab countries to share with us our success stories, and also for distributors and for assessors and for trainers to cooperate with us in the future. Also, agility and flexibility is very important, because this is one of the major factors for success. We have also effective communication, and we are really taking care of the communication, and we have very concrete communication with all our stakeholders. This is our vision for 2030. All these red points, we need to have representation for the African Arabian excellence model in all these countries by 2030. I hope we can do it faster than that. Already we have installed 2 distributors in Dubai and 1 in Saudi Arabia, and coming soon, I think before the end of the year, we will have another maybe 2 or 3 signing MOUs for distribution and excellence center. How we can disseminate the model? This is our strategy. We have the excellence center in every country. We need to have an excellence center, which will be the center, and we can have also distributors to help the excellence center, and we can have academy like faculties or universities to help to accredit our academic diplomas, and we have assessors. These assessors work together with the distributors and with the excellence center, and also trainers. And by the way, we will have a training course for trainers for AEF, for delivering how to deliver AEF courses, either a classroom or online based courses. And every one of these functions is going to cooperate with the others to achieve our objectives and goals. I know that some of you are organizations, are not really lead auditors or excellence assessors. So this part is for organizations, and we want to see where is the real benefits for any organization in this excellence model. So we have these 9 points. We can go through very quickly. Promote the importance of processes and which are the most important processes. This is very important because by experience, we found many organizations that they have no concept of the process itself. Okay, so we need to concentrate on this. Secondly, we allow different sizes of organizations to be able to find the right criteria to fit their size. As you know, that most of the other models are using only one criteria, and usually it is for big organizations, not for small and medium organizations, but we will see how we have for every size of the organization, we have special criteria to fit their requirements. Third, enforce measurement for processes as part of plan, do, check, and act parameters. Each process should be measured, plan, do, check, and act parameters using scoring system. So our scoring system rely on checking, plan, do, check, act for every process. The fourth point, concentrate on humanity as a driver for high performance, which leads to sustainability. You know, humanity is very important in our region. It's not important in other regions, but in our region, in the Arab world, and in the Middle East and in Africa, humanity is a major factor, and it is really the driver of high performance for the organizations, and this high performance leads to sustainability. 5, motivate organizations to achieve operational excellence, and this is very important. You cannot achieve organizational excellence without going to operational excellence first. And this is how we do it in the African excellence model. Help organizations to measure the return on investment as a result of quality and excellence deployment. It's very difficult for any other model to measure the results and the return on investment using excellence criteria and quality. But we can do it easily, and we have our system to do that. And I think this is very important because people want to see the result of applying these criteria. Because as we know, there is experts who say that quality is free. And this is true, because when you do the quality in the right way, it pays for itself. Direct link between enablers and results. And this is very important also. Maybe in other models, it's not direct related to each other, but in this model, it's completely related, and you can see how the enablers are affecting the results, the cause and effect. Apply concrete, robust scoring system, which leads to fair and realistic scores, which will drive the organization to achieve better results. We will see now the problems we are facing in the market and how we tackle it. and how we overcome all these problems. Create a clear roadmap for ISO certified organizations to migrate to excellence. Many organizations now are ISO certified, and they are willing to transform themselves and migrate to excellence. But unfortunately, there is no clear path or roadmap to do this. And at that point, we say we have a solution for that, and we have a roadmap for ISO certified organization to migrate to excellence. This is how these 9 points can make the difference and be real benefits for any organization and for any type of organization and for any size of organization also. Now we made the study for what are the major challenges facing implementation of excellence models. We were trying to find what are the major challenges to overcome them and how the model is going to overcome this. Let's see. Problem number 1, lack of understanding of the process concept, especially for the main process. The African Excellence Framework is process-based. We have it very clear that each process is indicated in the model, and it's very clear that here we need a process. Each of the sub-criteria is explained also in guidelines. We have guidelines like this. We see here strategic objectives. We need to have a process for that. Stakeholders involved, we need a process for that. Business framework, we need a process for that. And here we have guidelines explaining, and this is not in any other criteria or model. We are explaining here what really we want and what really we mean by these criteria and these process. And each process is explained here. Number 2, no different criteria assigned for different sizes of organizations. They have only one criteria, one set of criteria. So let's see here what happened if we have one set of criteria. Here, the African Excellence Model, recognition, certificates, and awards. How we have the model working. We have mega, we have large, we have medium, and also we have small. So the 106 process is for the mega organizations. But the large, we can use 86 out of the 106. And the medium, we can use 44 of the 86 process. And for the small, we need only 36 processes from the 44. Now, what we can see that if you are using another model and you are a small company, you need to fulfill the 106, which is really unbelievable. You will never achieve the 106. And at the end of the day, each category of this and each size have its own context and its own ecosystem. This ecosystem does not allow the small organization to reach the 106 process. And that is one of the major advantages how we tackle a single model. It is a single model selected carefully to match the environment and the ecosystem of the size of organization. Also, we have recognition and award levels. We have for the mega, we can have platinum, gold, silver. And for the small also, we have platinum, gold, silver. So each size of organization can compete only with its category and can have platinum or gold or silver. And this is also gives a chance for small organizations to excel better and to start moving forward. Number 3, no measurement for process as part of the plan, do, check, and act parameters. Here we have plan, do, check, act. Not only, but we have plan, do, check, act as scoring also. And we will see how we can score that. Not making humanity in consideration as a driver for high performance, which leads to sustainability. Here, Ubuntu excellence philosophy. We have 3 basic principles: humanity, performance, sustainability. And we have here our 6 principles. One of them is create ownership through transparency with stakeholders, be compliant, securing the business future, have robust policies, upskill employees, give back to the community, implement ethical business operations. It's very important for us. In this model, humanity is the base for better performance. 5, neglecting the fact that organization should pass years to reach operational excellence. Here, people understand, especially assessors, that we have a problem with that during assessment in other models. We will see how. And we will see how we tackle this problem and solve it in the model. We are using NASA scoring system, which they built in 2009. And its performance assessment scoring guidelines, it's like that. Here, I want to ask a question for you. If you are assessor, certified assessor, and you go to an organization and you start looking at the approaches or the processes, and you find out that there is a major company coming and doing all this consulting company, global consulting company who came and did all the approaches. And this is, we see everywhere. We cannot, as assessors, give less than 80 because it is perfect. But in this model, we can very easily give from 0 to 15. Why? Because we have here guidelines showing that how long this approach in place, in years. So if it is less than 1 year, it's perfect, okay? But it is used for less than 1 year, it will be in level 2, which is a poor description, and it will score from 0 to 15 only. So if we go to an organization, nobody will make a subjective scoring. They will not move from 0 to 15, and that's it. So we cannot go to 80 and 80 plus, except if we use this for more than 3 years, which is we called extensive use. And this is level 7. We reach level 7 only if we use it for 3 years and more. This is very smart solution for organizations who gain score out of bringing somebody to do their processes or their approaches. So this is our solution. It's very fair, very precise, and it's very helpful for organization for self-assessment and very helpful for assessors to be very realistic and very precise. Number 6, no concrete, robust scoring system which leads to high scores, which will affect the efforts of the organization to achieve better results and to share their best practices. Of course, when we get high scores, we don't have to do more. We reached 800, 850, very high scores. So what are we going to do more? Let's see how NASA scoring and AEF handle this. And this is very technical for assessors who are familiar with assessment and scoring. For example, we have Plan, Do, Check, Act. Other models, we can have 88, 83, 79, 75, which we take the average, which is 81. Here, we take the same numbers, okay, and multiply by 100, but we multiply each one with the other. So we multiply the plan with the do, with the check, with the act, not summation or addition. Here we multiply, and then we multiply by 100, so we get 43 instead of 81. And this is causality system or causality approach. This is average approach. So like that, when we see the result, we have the same. The average gives 70, the causality gives 24. So the total will be 760 out of 1,000, and here we get 340 out of 1,000. This is a very big challenge. Why? Because the people who are looking for scoring, they will not be happy. The people who are looking only for awards and recognition, they will not be happy because they are losing score. But the people who really want to improve and who really want to see their performance, the real performance, will be very happy because they have opportunities for improvement and they have a chance to improve and to have better results. This is how we handle the problem of unclear methodology for scoring. 7, no ways to measure the return on investment as a result of quality and excellence maturity. Here we have something very clear. We have our own measures for return on investment using cost of quality. And we have cost of quality here, as we see. Let's say we have a curve for cost of waste. We have customer dissatisfaction here. And we have this curve, cost of prevention and total cost, quality cost. And this is the maturity index, which is in yellow. So here, what we can see very easily, that when we go to the organization, we set these numbers, we measure these numbers as a baseline, then start implementing the model. After 1 year, we can measure the same and we can see very clear results. Let's see here, if we were 250 at this stage of scoring index, maturity index, 250, 35% operating budget. Okay, when we made progress and reached to 600 or 650. This is to show you the difference. We reached the operational budget 10%. So from 35%, we reached 10% only operational budget. Is this a real return on investment? Very clear. So you can measure easily by our strategy how you achieve excellence and how you achieve return on investment. Okay, here we have something very interesting, which is optimum quality here. This is very important because if you are paying on improving quality every day, you will reach a stage that you cannot achieve better quality and you are paying more expenses. So you can stop here investing and just maintain your level for the next steps. Here we have the problem of not having gateway to excellence. This is the ISO standard. Organizations, they have already processes and they have plan, do, check, act. But to transfer them to the AAEM, we need to first do an assessment. This assessment, we will find out how many missing processes, and we are going to build these processes. And for the other processes they have, we will measure the score of plan, do, check, act, and then improve all the parameters which are really wants to be improved. So this is a very nice way to transform organizations ISO certified to excellence. Also, we have gateway for professionals, for lead auditors, and for assessors. If you are lead auditor or assessor qualified, you can go through the exam. We have an exam to be certified professional assessor instead of going to the course or training course and the assessor course. It's time to change. We have AF products and services. We have training, we have membership, we have recognition, we have assessment, and we will be very happy to answer your questions if you need any explanation. And we have award to 2023. The award is coming. Okay. We have here the training courses. We have certified leader for performance excellence. We have certified institutional qualifying specialist. We have certified professional assessor. We have certified assessment team leader. And we have also TOT. We have our gateway to be an excellence assessor. This Sherry is going to send you after the course. All the steps. We are not going to waste your time.